Okay, so here we are at the sewing machine, which as you can see is just a Singer Start. I bought this at a charity shop for a £5 because it's got a problem. I think someone got rid of it because when you initially push the start pedal to get it to go, you sometimes have to crank the arm to get it to work. But if you can get it with the needle in the up position and you bang your foot on the thing, it goes straight away and just carries on. You can see it does a zigzag stitch, it does a number of stitches, it does buttonholes, it does a little bit of embroidery if you really wanted eyebrows. But I'm doing this zigzag stitch. You see I've done it in white, I've done it in blue, tried to match the colour up, but then someone said at a sailmaker's, try to use white because the cotton or the polyester will last longer. And I'm using a sort of a heavy duty polyester thread. And I've also got on the top here, which I've just bought from Hobbycraft, and this is beeswax in here, or possibly Father Ted's earwax, and the thread goes over the top of that and down. So as it runs through, it's putting a little bit of lubrication on this as the needle goes through. I've got a leather needle, a needle for sewing leather and jeans, so it's very, very sharp, but it's got a nice big hole in it, so it's easy to thread. Just focus that in there. There we are. So I'm doing a zigzag stitch. Seems to be going okay. I mean, I'm not a seamstress, you know. I'd never get a job in the factory at Coronation Street, but it's not too bad. So this is the pocket for the sail batten, 3.5 meters. This is sort of a beige colour dacron for that, and this is another dacron, and this is the base where the bolt rope goes through with the sail on it, and then the sail comes up this way, and then this bag folds in over the top. Now there's my zip. I went online, I've double stitched that. I went online to find out how to put zips into canvas covers, and there are some very, very good videos on there. And what you can see in here, which will be cut out before it's finally used, is tape. Now you can buy stuff called basting tape from material suppliers. Hobbycraft do it, but for 7 meters it's £9. So what I bought from Hobbycraft was ordinary double-sided adhesive tape, and rather than tacking like my wife when she made my daughter's clothes, she would tack everything, I just stick everything on because it's all in a straight line. And the same as this here, inside here is the double-sided tape, and it holds it beautifully while you're sewing. So I've just stopped now to because the bobbin ran out. You can see the bobbin ran out here, but that's held on now with the double-sided tape. So in here, it's good, jobbed. So I'm just going to start the machine. I'll try and get a little bit of it, but it's not easy because it's a handheld. Alright, so it does look like I've pre-holed this. I've gone down with a very, very, very small needle and made these holes. I haven't. It's just that I was going quite quickly and the bobbin ran out, and that was the stopping distance once I realised the bobbin had run out. So once I suddenly realised, so thinking distance and stopping distance is the overall braking distance at that speed was about 5-6 centimetres, maybe a bit more. So I'm just now going to start it. I've got the needle at the top, so it may go, it may not, so it's a bit difficult doing it with one hand, but let's have a look. I'll try and steer it, and they're off. So there you see, that's with a normal sewing machine, a Singer Start, going through one layer of canvas, heavy duty. you can see, and a layer of Dacron. But it's been through 2 layers, so as you can see here, it's gone through 2 layers of cotton canvas and 1 zip. There. I shall lay this out in a minute and let you all see it. Okay, so here is almost finished my Stackpack. I reckon it's cost me, I don't know, around about 175 pounds. Most of that was for the cotton, for the canvas. I spent £140 on the canvas, but I've got enough left to make 2 very long dodgers and a cover on the windscreen of my Westerly Riviera, which has got a big front window, so that needs to be covered up. Keep the sun out in the day when you're not sailing, and when you leave it, and when you're in it at night. So here we are. It's 3.5 meters long. I've got the measurements from Jekyll's Sails, how they make their Stackpacks. I've added a little bit more of a rise, I think, than Jekyll's. They tend to sort of want to come along and just keep it like that. The mast will be about here, and I've got the old sail cover that I'm going to take, that's just a sail cover, just goes on once you've got the sail down, and I'm going to use that as a template because it goes round the mast, and I'm going to use it as a template, plus I'm going to butcher the zip off of it. And then I'm going to bring it back to about here, and I may eventually put Velcro down here and corresponding to snap it on to the other side, or I may put snap poppers, I don't know yet, brass snap poppers. Here's my zip, 3.5 meter zip that I got off of eBay. I think it cost me £14, something like that. It comes all the way down the end. I've got to find a way now of stopping that falling off, and here we are inside. These are openings for my reefing lines. I've got to tidy them up yet. I ran out of this blue tape, didn't want to buy any more, and I already had this from a previous project, so it's a bit of like my old school tie. And then we open it up and we look inside. I've got the Dacron here, which I've sewn on, and then we've got the sail battens. The sail battens are actually joined because I got some offcuts from Wilkinson's sails in Faversham. Very, very helpful lady there, Cindy. And if I hadn't done it myself, I possibly would have gone to her to get her to do it. She makes them very, very nice, very, very helpful, very good advice. And there we are. So that's it. Obviously I won't have the hammer in there when I'm sailing. That could be an excuse why I'm going so slow. I've put, as you can see, I've put 4 supports, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 up by the mast for the lazy jacks. There's 3 on the boat at the moment, but there's the facility for 4, and I'm going to see how it works. What I've done is I've added these eyes to let some of the water out. If you're sailing, as you all know, in a bit of a bad weather, the rain hits the sail, runs down, goes into the sail pack and just runs along the course, and then just drops on the head of the helmsman. Not too bad when someone else is helming, but so what I've done is I've put in that, so that should let some of the water out, and then I've added another couple at the back here, possibly just to help me pull it back. Now before I put this in, I actually had sailcloth from an old sail off a racing dinghy, but it was too flimsy, and I tried to put it on, and it didn't quite work out right. And again, as you can see, these are 2 offcuts that wouldn't be used, and I've joined them here. So this is open, but this pulls on to the boom that way. So as you're sliding it into with the bolt rope, this edge shouldn't catch. I could have stitched it, but I thought that would catch. So I've left it at that. It's not brilliant stitching, as you can see. This sewing machine's not too bad, but it's if I'd have done this way up and sewn this way up, it would have been a beautiful finish, as we can see here. And that's a lovely finish. But there's obviously a tension issue that I haven't resolved, but there you go. I hope it's been of help. Download the pattern from Jekyll's. They tell you where to measure, how to measure along, and then you just take your measurements around your sail that you've already got on there, from the base of the bolt rope to the top, and it's worked out really well. I'm really pleased with it. It's ugly, you know, only a mother could love it, but I think it'll do me 2 or 3 years, possibly 4, and I'm happy with it. The next thing will be the fitting, and I'll do a different video for that.